The 1986 FIFA World Cup, the 13th FIFA World Cup, was held in Mexico from 31 May to June 29, 1986. The tournament was the second to feature a 24-team format. With European nations not allowed to host after the previous World Cup in Spain, Colombia had been originally chosen to host the competition by FIFA but, largely due to economic reasons, was not able to do so and officially resigned in 1982. Mexico was selected as the new host in May 1983, thus becoming the first country to host the World Cup more than once. It was won by Argentina, their second title, after winning in 1978. Argentina was captained by the 25-year-old Diego Maradona, who played a large part in his team's success. Maradona scored the Hand of God goal, as well as another voted goal of the century, in the same quarterfinal against England. These were two of the 5 goals that Maradona scored during the tournament, and he also created another 5 for his teammates. 1. Argentina beat West Germany 3-2 in the final at Mexico City's Estadio Azteca. Total attendance was 2,394,031, an average per match of 46,039. 2. Canada, Denmark and Iraq made their first appearances at the final stage. The format of the competition changed from 1982. The final pair of matches in each group started at the same time 3, and the second round was played on a knockout basis rather than groups. The 24 teams qualified were divided into 6 groups of 4, A to F. The top 2 teams and the 4 best third-place finishers from the 6 groups advanced to the knockout round of 16 teams. Italy were the defending champions, but were eliminated by France in the round of 16. The 1986 World Cup saw the appearance of an audience phenomenon dubbed the Mexican Wave, which was popularized worldwide after featuring during the tournament. 4-5-6. Colombia was originally chosen as host by FIFA in June 1974, with Bogotá, Medellín, Cali, Pereira and Bucaramanga intended as the host cities, plus potentially Barranquilla. 7. Colombia agreed to host a 16-team competition, however, FIFA later allowed an expansion to 24 teams for the 1982 World Cup in Spain, which was more challenging for Colombia to host, although FIFA President João Havelange initially gave assurances that they could revert to a 16-team tournament. 7. The Colombian authorities eventually declared on November 5, 1982 that they could not afford to host the World Cup under the terms that FIFA demanded because of economic concerns. 8. Although Mexico, United States and Canada submitted bids on March 11, 1983 to be the replacement host, the 5-person special FIFA committee responsible for recommending the bids to the Executive Committee, EXCO, announced on 31 March that it would only consider Mexico's bid, saying the United States and Canada had deviated from FIFA's Criteria 9, and EXCO members refused to visit Canadian and American stadium sites. 10. On 20 May, the committee announced Mexico as the replacement host despite Havelange stating that the United States and Canada had made better presentations. 10. Mexico became the first nation to host 2 World Cups, as it had hosted the 1970 FIFA World Cup. The Canadian representatives criticized the committee's decision to not consider Canada, saying they had submitted a more complete bid than Mexico, and that they had been misled by the number of stadiums required for bidding. 10. The United States, whose bid contained more than the required number of stadiums with the required capacity to host World Cup matches, at least 40,000 capacity, 60,000 for second-round matches and 80,000 for the tournament final. Mexico submitted a bid with 14 stadiums, only 6 of which seated over 40,000 at the time of the bid, and 3 over 60,000. 10. Havelange in turn criticized the United States' handling of stadium selection for the football tournament at the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. The Americans also pointed out that Mexico had the influence of 2 seats on the 22-person executive committee, a FIFA vice president and an executive at Televisa, a Mexican television network with ties to Havelange. 9. Also working in Mexico's favor was Havelange secretly promising the broadcast rights to Televisa ahead of the vote. 11. Following the bidding process, Henry Kissinger, the former United States Secretary of State who led the United States Bid Committee, remarked, "The politics of soccer make me nostalgic for the politics of the Middle East," while the leader of the Canadian committee called Mexico's 10-page bid document a joke. 10. A severe earthquake in September 1985, 8 months before the tournament, cast doubt 12 over Mexico's ability to organize the event, but the stadiums were not affected and it was decided to go ahead with the preparations. 13. As 1986 had been declared the International Year of Peace by the United Nations, the advertising boards of all the stadia displayed the FIFA and United Nations logos along with the legend Football for Peace, Peace Year. Citation needed. For the design of the logo, an unofficial motto was adopted, El Mundo Unido por un Balón, the world united by a ball. Citation needed. The official mascot of the 1986 World Cup was Peak, a jalapeno pepper, characteristic of Mexican cuisine, with a mustache, a calamote sombrero, and Mexican football team colors. Its name comes from picante, Spanish for spicy, and was also a pun on the park abbreviation of the football term penalty kick. The character caused a degree of controversy within Mexico for its ethnic stereotypes. 14. 3 teams qualified for the World Cup for the first time: Canada, Denmark, and Iraq. Canada clinched its spot after winning the final match against Honduras 2-1 in St. John's, Newfoundland. Iraq played all their home matches on neutral ground because of the Iran-Iraq War. South Korea qualified for the first time since 1954, Paraguay for the first time since 1958, Portugal for the first time since 1966, and Bulgaria and Uruguay for the first time since 1974. As of 2018 update, this was the last time that Hungary, Canada, Iraq and Northern Ireland qualified for the finals. In addition, this was the last time that the United States did not qualify for the finals until the 2018 tournament.